Chapter 3, Lesson 7, Divide Decimals by Whole Numbers. You will be able to divide decimals by whole numbers. Divide as normal. Place the decimal point in the quotient directly above its place in the dividend. So here we have 6.8 divided by 2. 6.8 goes in the box. That decimal point, we can carry it right up to our quotient, and that's where it'll go. And from here on out, we can divide as normal. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract and get 0. Bring down the 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract and get 0. Our quotient is 3.4. Letter B. 3 into 7.5. Again, decimal, line it up, put it straight above in your quotient. 3 goes into 7 twice, which is 6. Subtract and get 1. Bring down the 5. 3 goes into 15 5 times. Subtract and get 0. Our quotient is 2.5. And please get in the habit of rewriting your answer. Letter C. 3.5 divided by 7. 3.5 goes in the box. And again, bring that decimal point up. 7 cannot go into 3, so we put a 0. But 7 can go into 35 exactly 5 times. Subtract and get 0. Our quotient is 0.5. Letter D. 2 into 9.8. Bring up your decimal point. 2 goes into 9 4 times. Minus 8 is 1. Bring down the other 8. 2 into 18 is exactly 9 times. Subtract and get 0. The quotient is 4.9. (7.7) divided by 14. Again, bring your decimal point up. 14 cannot go into 7, but it can go into 77. And here we have to figure out how many times. Well, take a guess here. 14 is close to 15. 15 times 5 is 75. Let's try 14 times 5 and see where that takes us. 14 times 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. Looks good. 5 times minus 70 is 7. Now, we cannot have remainders. We cannot have remainders because we have decimals already. So what we need to do is add as many zeros as we need them and carry it down. 14 goes into 70. 5 times exactly. Minus 70 is 0. The quotient is 55 hundredths, or 0.55. Letter F. 15 into 9.48. Bring up your decimal point. 15 can't go into 9, but it can go into 94 6 times. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. Subtract and get 4. Bring down the 8. 15 goes into 48 3 times. 15 times 3 is 45. Subtract and get 3. I need to bring down a 0. 15 into 30 would be twice, which is exactly 30. So the quotient is 0.632. Letter G. 4 into 3.49. Bring up your decimal. 4 cannot go into 3, but it can go into 34 8 times, which is 32. Subtract and get 2. Bring down the 9. 4 can go into 29 7 times, which is 28. Subtract and get 1. Add a 0. Bring it down. 4 into 10 twice, which is 8. Subtract and get 2. Add another 0. We are still not done. 4 goes into 20 exactly 5 times. Minus 20 is 0. So our quotient is 0.8725. Letter H. 17 into 55.08. 17 goes into 55 3 times. And we'll do 17 times 3. That's 21. That's a 5, so 51. Subtract and get 4. Bring down the 0. 17 goes into 40 twice, which is 34. Subtract and get 6. Bring down the 8. 17 into 68. Let's try 4. That's 28. 4, 5, 6. Looks like exactly 4 times. So our quotient is 3 and 24 hundredths, or 3.24. Lynn is mailing a care package to his brother. The table gives the cost for mailing packages. If Lynn's care package weighs 3 pounds, how much is the cost per pound? So we are focusing on a package that costs 3, or that is 3 pounds. We need to do our division. 674 divided by 3. Carry up your decimal point. 3 goes into 6 twice, which is 6 exactly. Bring down the 7. It goes in twice as well, which is 6. Subtract and get 1. Bring down the 4. 3 into 14 would be 4 times, which is 12. Subtract and get 2. Bring down a 0. 3 into 20 would be 6 times. Minus 18 is 2. And if I keep bringing down zeros here, this digit's going to repeat. I'll do one more. Bring down a 0. 3 goes in 6 times, etc. However, we are talking about money, and money goes to the second or hundredths place. So I need to look next door. 5 or greater, add 1 more. 4 or below, let it go. Because this next digit to the right is a 6, that brings this closer to the next number. So I would add 1 to 4. So this would be $2.25 per pound, and pound is abbreviated LB. Find the cost per pound of a 4-pound package. So we are interested in how much it is per pound if we have a 4-pound package. So 4 into 7.87. 4 goes into 7 once. Subtract and get 3. Bring down the 8. 4 goes into 38 9 times, which is 36. Subtract and get 2. Bring down the 7. Goes in 6 times, which is 24. Subtract and get 3. Bring down the 0. 4 into 37 times, which is 28. Subtract and get 2. Bring down another 0. And 4 goes into 20 5 times exactly. Subtract and get 0. Again, we're talking about money, so I'm only interested up until this digit. I need to look to the right Since that 7 is more than 5, or 5 or more, that means I add 1 to 6. So this would be $1.97 per pound. Letter C. Ryan and his brother are sharing the cost of a video game. The video game costs $28.60. If Ryan saved $20 to buy the game, how much does he have left after paying his share? This is a multi-step problem. The first thing we need to do is figure out how much Ryan owes. If he and his brother split the cost, that would mean I'd have to take the cost and divide by the 2 people. That is the first step. Carry up your decimal point. 2 goes into 2 once. Subtract and get 0. Bring down the 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times. Subtract 8 and get 0. Bring down the 6. 2 goes into 6 3 times, which is 6. Subtract and get 0. Bring down the 0. And 2 goes into 0 0 times. Subtract and get 0. And let me fix this digit here. This was a 3. There we go. So Ryan owes $14.30. But he paid $20. To figure out his change, I'm going to take the $20 and subtract $14.30. Got to do some borrowing here. His change is $5.70. Letter D. Kristen and her 2 friends are sharing the cost of a funnel cake. The funnel cake costs $5.49. If Kristen has $2, how much will she have left after paying her share? Kristen and her 2 friends are sharing the cake. That means there are 3 people sharing. So we need to divide $5.49, divide by 3. Put in your decimal point. 3 goes into 5 once, which is 3. Subtract and get 2. Bring down the 4. 3 goes into 24 8 times, exactly 24. Subtract and get 0. Bring down the 9. 3 goes into 9 exactly 3 times. Subtract and get 0. So each person owes $1.83. To find out Kristen's change, we would take the $2 she paid minus the $1.83. Let's do some borrowing. 7 1.0. Her change is 17 cents.